What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Going In with Willie and Iz. We had a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back. My name is Iz.
My name is Willie.
And we are going in with Willie and Iz. Willie, man, so many things happen. We're in the middle of August. There's all kinds of things with these elections. California's going through a recall. Afghanistan, we got voting, just all these voting bills, and in the country, all across the country. The census and all that other stuff is going on. So, I mean, there's a whole gamut of things we can talk about. Let's go ahead and get started with Afghanistan, man. Afghanistan is huge right now. What are your thoughts, man?
Well, you know what? First of all, when you go back to Afghanistan and you're looking at 20 plus years, at least 20 years, once you started doing the research, you see that Russia was in there for so many years. They finally kicked them out. But I know basically it's all about those poppy fields. I know this is the main crust of Afghanistan. And as I look at Biden going in there, 1 minute everybody's saying like, oh, I can't believe he's just going in there and this is just atrocious and he's not doing it right. When was it going to ever be right? We have been in how many wars? I can go back to World War II. We're still in Germany. We're still in the Philippines. We're in Japan, South Korea. Wherever we've been, we never really leave. Vietnam was never declared a war. It was a conflict. And look what happened to that debacle when they was getting people out of there. So they have never had a great exit plan when it comes to war. And the people in Afghanistan, at first, I was like, I did some research. I said, like, who are the Taliban? Because they're always going to find a group that's going to be responsible for everything. So when I looked up Taliban, I found out Taliban means 2 students. And these students were probably less than 400 or 500 people. They didn't like the Western world coming in and telling them how to live and what to do. They didn't like Western world coming in and picking their government to oversee their country. If you notice, Biden was saying like, well, the Afghanistan soldiers, we've been training them for these many years and they won't fight back. Well, what they failed to tell us, the Afghanistan soldiers said, it's not so much we won't fight back. We don't like this regime you are leaving us with. These guys are a bunch of cutthroats. They're not going to do anything for the people. So we might as well just let the Taliban come in and look what happened to the president. That fool was gone first moment notice. And then you got all those interpreters. When I look at the interpreters, just from my perspective, I go back to the Western days when the cavalry's always had a Native American as a scout.
Yep.
And it tells us what they're thinking. Speak their language for them. Help us get in there. And then they go in there and then they just go in there and they just pillage and burn and steal and rob those countries of their natural resources. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, this is who we are as a nation. This is our legacy in history. This is what we've always done. But then you want to have the moral compass. Other day I saw something that really made me laugh. I'm not a big Louis Farrakhan follower. Uh-huh. And so Louis Farrakhan said like, look at these devils. They saying like, well, we're really, and they telling the U.S. press, we're really concerned about the Afghan women got to wear those burqas and stuff like that. He said, liars. You worried about the Afghan women wearing burqas, and then you got our women over here walking around with booty cutters on, and you ain't worried about them. He took over. This is what they do. This is what they've always done. You can go down to Panama with Noriega. Mm-hmm. You can go to Iraq with Hussein. This is just who they are. And they don't do it well. And then they want to point the fingers at everybody. So I feel so bad for those Afghan people. And then look at Steve Miller. Look what Donald Trump did. Mm-hmm. You go in there and you negotiate with the Taliban and you let 5,000 of those prisoners go free. And you tell them, oh, you do this stuff right here and we'll work out a great agreement and we'll have you out in May. No, you're not going to do that. You didn't do it. So that's why this is where we are.
Yeah, he was supposed to have done it. He said he was going to do it. But what I heard was from the lady who she had worked with Pence. She talked about when she was in the administration. all of the paperwork for these Afghani interpreters, they put a delay. Stephen Miller, they said that he said something about, oh, we don't want these people, you know, and she called him a racist. That's her word. She said, we don't want these people coming in because it's gonna, you know, all of these, you know, all of them. You know, what's gonna happen when they come here? You know, they don't speak our language and all that stuff. So what he did was he pretty much, she said he devastated the system in order to keep their paperwork into the system. So when you hear, you know, on the news about all of these interpreters not wanting or not able to get the paperwork cleared and do all this other stuff, it's because the Trump administration under Stephen Miller put those roadblocks in there so their paperwork would be tied up for indefinitely. So basically he wants them to keep them there. He wants them to basically be killed over there. And that's the sad part. So it's not the Biden administration who's trying to get them out.
No.
It's these hurdles that the Trump administration put in play. And it's documented. You know, even General Milley, I think it was, she said that he wanted to get these people out because you hear about these soldiers, they're interviewing all of the soldiers that were there. I want my person X, Y, and Z, this person here, they need to come back. You know, they helped us do this and that. But like you said, it goes back to the scout days. You know, we use people, and then we don't care when we don't need them. We throw them off to the side. Unfortunately, is that the American way? Maybe it's not. Maybe we think it shouldn't be. But unfortunately, if you understand and know history, that is the way it has been throughout history. And if that's the way, again, according to this administration who was in there last, we're talking about making America great again. Is that what he's talking about? You know, what is it? What is that? What does that mean? But yeah, it's sad. So you hear about all these people being stuck over there. They're stuck over there for a reason. And it's not because of this administration, it's because of the prior administration. And all you have to do is do a little bit of homework and digging, and you'll see that that's a fact.
It goes back, I mean, with the Daddy Bush, George Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Look how long we have been in the Middle East. And these guys, only thing I give a little glimmer of hope, but what's going to happen though is once the Taliban do take complete control of Kabul and places like that, these guys don't have the necessary resources. They're still going to have to depend on outside entities to help them. But what they're going to do is, so then you're going to have a country like Russia, then you're going to have a country like China, then you're going to have ISIS. You're going to have all these people coming in there and say, like, you know what, don't even worry about it, we can do this for you. Even though the Taliban don't want anybody else in there, because they said we want our country back and we're going to change our ways.
We're changed, yeah, they said we're changed.
They're going to change. And it's so sad because they get so stuck into their religion and their ideology. And I often ask people when I talk to people that's whatever religion they're in, and they tell me, well, you know, God told me to do this. I said, like, you know what? I can't prove that God didn't tell you that, but I also know you can't prove that God did.
Yeah.
Why would God talk to you?
Yeah.
Come on. Have you seen some of these idiots that telling me, I got this from God, and he's going to do this? Why would he talk to you? You couldn't get a job at McDonald's right now fixing a damn cup of coffee because your lazy ass don't want to do shit but sit around here and bullshit your way through it, wearing a suit, do all the women. That's what happened to Malcolm X.
Yeah.
He got so frustrated when he got to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yep. The reality kicked in.
Found out he's doing all the ladies and stuff like that. No, we don't need you to
all
talk.
That dirt.
I you know, as I got older and doing more reading, I can't find one minister to tell me what religion God was. Not one. And why would God need religion?
No, it's not. It's just it's knowing and understanding that there's something else, you know, out there. There's something bigger than us. There's something bigger than us. You may call it something. I mean, people call it spirituality. People call it, and that's fine. You know, you believe that, cool. That higher power is there, and so you believe in something more, something greater. And I think that's what religion is, and it's really just to, you know, and the faith, because you can't see it, you can't touch it. It's a matter of faith, and if you have it or you don't, you know, and that's really what it comes down to.
But what boggles the mind when I look at Afghanistan, I look at Vietnam, I look at all the conflicts and wars and stuff. since I've been on this planet, I have not ever encountered no time we weren't in a conflict.
Yeah.
In my life, I don't know when we weren't in a conflict somewhere.
Oh, we're gonna be in another one. This one's ending. Guess what? We're gonna pop. Another one's gonna pop up in a minute. That's
And it's
just how
gonna
we
pop
do.
up right here. It's gonna pop up right here because
Yeah, maybe.
you know what, the table's been set. These guys, once when you look at Afghanistan and what happened there and how the people are just in total disarray. So when you got a vulnerable population, anybody can come in with any kind of plan and they can take over some stuff without firing a shot.
And that's so, Russia's biggest thing. They said, I can't remember, in the 80s or 90s, you know, we're going to win the war by not firing a shot. I'm not sure if it was Putin or who it was. It might have been somebody before him. Somebody said that
about the United States. We'll be able to take over this country without firing a shot.
Yeah, and it's all through propaganda. Russia has been messing with people's elections, countries' elections forever.
Forever.
And now we're finding out again. All of this is coming out. Trump and the ties to Russia. You know what happened with all these taxes? You know, oh well, I'm going to release my taxes. Guess what? There's no more. I never heard of an audit going for 6 years, whatever, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know how long this. And guess what? Now that it's in court, they're talking about releasing it. What is he saying? Oh, well, you can't release my taxes. You told all your people that voted for you, that once this is over, I'm gonna go ahead and release my taxes. Guess what? People that voted for Trump got conned because he told you that he was gonna give you his taxes when they were done. Trust me, he said, the next day I'm gonna do it. Now that it's going through the court, he can release him himself at any point. But now that it's going through court, he wants to hold him back because all of this ties to all these countries, all of the Russia, all of the Kuwait, not Kuwait. What's the other one?
Deutsche Bank.
All of these ones, guys. The Deutsche Bank, all that stuff is going to come out, and all these people, where are they at? Look at your boy, the lawyer. What's his name? Giuliani. Rudy. Man, his ties are all within the old Soviet bloc. So all of these old countries that still have Soviet ties to Putin happen to be working for the president's lawyer.
That's right.
The previous lawyer said he was crooked. Now that this lawyer's under investigation, got disbarred, all this stuff is going to come out with him. All of these people are supposed to be draining the swamp. He brought the swamp to Washington because all these people are getting arrested. No, I don't think there's anybody in history with more people in their cabinet that's been arrested more than this man, Trump.
More. It's not one. You could probably just count maybe a couple, and the only reason why they hadn't, like Jared and Ivanka and his little two stupid
they're crooked too.
They going down too. And when you talk about Steve Miller and Banner and all those guys, Pompeo, all of these guys, but here's what's gonna. I'm looking at the federal government, but really my eyes are just set on the Southern District of New York. That's going to be the one because they're really quiet. You're hearing a lot of stuff, but you're not hearing too much out of Southern District anymore. And they're going to get those taxes, and they say, okay, well, we don't go get the taxes for 10 years before you got to the White House. We gonna get the one in the White House. Where he really messed up was, I personally think, and so did the United States. They've been doing this on a little honor system. It's not no law written that said you really got to hand over your taxes. It's just a nice thing to do. He have exploited them on all those things. You're saying you don't have a law that said, just like the filibuster, that's not a law. That's not a policy that has to be used. But they've been using it, and look how much they have gotten away by using this because they were saying like, well, it worked back then. These guys would take old laws and old rules and they'll apply them today. And these rules need to be purged from all these archives. They need to go through there and purge all of these old rules because this is what they've been getting by on.
Electoral college?
Yeah, that. I mean, like, look why it was put in place. How do we need that now?
No, you don't need it.
So these things, when I look at Afghanistan, I look at the voting recall. Me being black, I'm just thinking like, damn, bro, what really just freaking bothers me is like, when I recall when my parents got their first time to vote, and they didn't even know who to vote for because they
Yeah.
never got a chance to vote. So there wasn't no sense them keeping up with
Yeah,
who running.
they didn't know. Yeah, you didn't go to any debates back then and all that stuff.
No,
It was just
it was
here's
just like, now we're
here's a
gonna let you
ballot.
vote. And then they come in and say, try to buy your vote because you don't know who to vote for anyway. So Lyndon Baines Johnson, one of his most true to form statement was, I'm gonna sign this voting right bill in 1965. And everybody was saying, oh, we shouldn't do that. He's like, bro, they're 100 years behind.
Yeah.
And look at these assholes. You had a 100-year jump, and now you're sitting around here scrambling. Oh, you got to stop them from voting. I'm like, hey, what the hell? And why is it still on the books that like, okay, we got to look at the voting right law again in 2025? Why?
Yeah.
If
Because
you
they want to see what the populace looks like.
Yeah. And it's like, wow, man. And so these guys, when I look at them, I was like, these are some of the most insecure, I mean, little fragile ass. When I read that White Fragility book, I was thinking like, wow, she was like, and then they get mad. And the corporation was hiring this lady to come out and informing people how racist they are and don't even realize it. Because when you have privilege, you don't think about stuff like that. And so all of this stuff is coming back to haunt them, and now they don't know what to do. We can't let no Afghanistan come in because look, they're already dark. And we can't let them understand what's going on in this country, and we don't know if they're going to be for us or not. And most of them not, because they're going to be thinking, man, we had to beg you guys to get us out of Afghanistan after we helped you for 20 years, and we just barely made it, and I lost a lot of family members because you didn't uphold your.
We piss everybody off. We piss everybody off.
Everybody.
To where they're going to come back, and now they're mad because we done left. We didn't keep our word. We're supposed to be doing this and that. And when it comes to one or two people that are racist in the cabinet who wants to slow things down so stuff doesn't happen, because they talked about Vietnam, about getting all these people that were helping us back then, and there was an issue back then. So they were talking about, let's not make that mistake. Let's start this paperwork, get all these people out. We identified them, but look, right now we got the Biden administration in office, but it's not him. If you do some research, and it's really, again, Trump said in his own words, he started this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then he switched around and said, oh, I don't know why he left so abruptly. When he said, well, it doesn't matter when we leave, it's still going to be a mess when we leave. Now he's like pretending he didn't say that. Now he's pretending he didn't say that. Man, he was right. And I give him credit when he's right. He was right. It's a mess. And now he's trying to be like, well, I wouldn't have done this. And I probably would have done this different. Like, you wouldn't have done shit different. You wanted to leave before then.
He's doing exactly what he's doing now. Now he's a Monday morning quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's going to be, I'm the right guy here. I should have been in this position myself. Yeah. And man, we sat here. I just look at the complicity that's in all our government, in all our people. If you don't say anything about anything and you know it's wrong, then you're just as guilty as they are. I mean, you're gonna sit here and let Donald Trump come in here and run rough shot, bringing in all kind of Russian informant and doing all this shit
to the White House. He brought him in the Oval Office.
Brought him to the Oval Office.
Didn't let American news in there. He let Russian news in there.
Yeah,
I mean, if that wasn't a flag, and then Russia turns around and posts the pictures, and America's like, well, what about us? But again, all these people who got conned said, oh, well, we don't trust American, well, you don't trust America, you don't trust American people, you don't trust American government. That means you're working for someone else. Why are you letting the Russian news agencies in there? So there's all of these tells and flags that were sprinkled throughout the whole Trump administration that eventually are going to come out. And it's going to be interesting to see, because you talk about January 6th. They want to stop the steal. All of these states, changing like you talk about the voting rules. California, now we're recalling our governor, Gavin Newsom, because the Republicans are trying to strike an iron while it's hot, because the GQP, and GQP because Q for Q, they're the ones who are like all this propaganda, like, well, the president wants you all to get masked up, and that's against our rights and stuff. But like Trump or Schwarzenegger was saying, screw your freedoms. People are killing other people. You have to realize that people die If you're contributing to somebody dying because you could be sick and you're not vaccinated, and you have 100% of the potential COVID, the COVID disease, and you cough on somebody, who probably doesn't as older because they had it, and then but their immune system's a little down. Is that murder because you intentionally didn't? There's all of these things that you have to realize. I'm all for it rights. I'm all for your rights. Don't get me wrong, but your rights are the line's drawn when you start infringing on the rights of others to live.
Look what happened to people that had
pursuit of happiness.
Look what happened to people that normally had HIV and then tell their partner they had it.
Yeah.
You can't. You can go and you can go to a bar and you can drink all you want to, but you can't drive drunk. You can't go out and kill people just because you want to go drink your liquor.
Yeah.
So these guys is doing all this, but I heard something very interesting the other day. And this guy was saying like, well, I know everybody getting all upset because we're talking about the mask and we having all these rallies and people all pissed off and stuff like that. And you wondering like, all you gotta say, I don't want to wear a mask. You don't have to get all angry about it and want to kill somebody. You just don't want to, you don't believe in it. He said, but actually that's not even the reason why. It goes back to what you said earlier, the fucking census. This is in the back of their minds. It's like, wow, we're gonna wake up tomorrow. Well, because it started with Obama. They never thought they'd ever see a black president. And once that happened, and now you got a black vice president, now the other shoe has fallen. So now they really don't know what to do. And like this little young white boy told me, he said, well, you know what? I can't understand our people. He said, like, here we are seeing that eventually it's going to be a brownout and we're going to be the minority. He said, don't you think it would behoove us to try to be as many friendly as people we could possibly be? But no, in the back of their sick minds, they think everybody's going to be like them if black and brown people get in charge. But that's the farthest thing from my mind.
No,
and you're
right.
We got so many illustrations of that. Tulsa is a great example. You guys can't live over here. You can't come by here. So they build their own. And they was prosperous. They had their own bank. They had their own movie theater. And what you hear? Oh, hell, them little ends are uppity.
Yeah.
We got to kill them. Are you stupid?
But that's why they're scared, man. That's why look at it. Look at everything. You got the natives pissed off. You're taking all their rights. You took all their land. They're mad. You got African Americans. You got the Tulsa example. Again, they try to build something up. They took it away from them. And it's the same. It's a white people. And it's not in the grant. I don't want everybody that's listening to this right now. It's not you. It's just we're talking about history.
It's the system.
But we're talking about, so there's these beliefs, and it may be the older generation, but as we know, racism is a learned trait. It's not something that you're born with. So as you hear your elders speaking, you kind of develop and you start integrating that into your belief system. So you start thinking, oh, they're going to come after me because, whatever, then you start thinking about, it's us and them, and it's not us and them, it's us, period. And we need to really correct that thought process and be all inclusive. There's a lot, granted, there's more people that I know that are all inclusive, but there are some out there that are just the loudest. And they talk about, oh, we can't have this, we can't have, the Latino population jumping off because, where's that going to leave us? That we're going to be the new Latino population. And the way they think about that, or the black population, is the way they think about it is if we're the new black or brown, that we're going to be oppressed, because that is what they did, not them as the race, the people before them. That's what they've done. So they think about it in those terms. In reality, it's not even like that because we're our own people. So we understand that. But somebody's in their ear, and it could be grandpa at the Thanksgiving table and talking about that, and you eating it up like that Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, you listen and you listen and you listen like, oh yeah, grandpa or uncle. When in reality, some people are, woke is now it's like a taboo word now, right? But people are educated. Let's use that word. People are now educated and realize that, you know what, I'm not that person. Even young white kids, like your buddy you're talking about. You get it, you understand, and let's just move forward as a people. Once we find out there's aliens or some other shit out there that's bigger than us, I
What you
watched
need to
them
worry
band
about?
together real quick.
That's what me and the young dude was saying. I was like, dude, we ain't really got time to worry about that. You know
Yeah,
what? When I just like you, when you look at your kids and I look at my kids and grandkids, all I want them to do is go out here and have the best life
that's
possible.
it, man. That's it.
I don't care what friends they have, as long as they treat each other right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so it's those guys that's really insecure, don't know they have gotten by so long on just their pigmentation. They gotten in job they had no business being in.
Yeah.
You gonna tell me Margaret Taylor Greene is the best Georgia has to offer?
She sold
I
them a
mean,
bill of goods. She conned those people, man. She showed, because all this stuff came out about the husband and all these other things. You know, there's other stuff coming out about our boy Larry Elder with the California recall. You know, there's a lot of things that you sell a bill of goods, but fact checking is a lot quicker now than it was before. And I'm not sure what Marjorie Taylor Greene was, but she put this thing out there where she was going to be X, Y, and Z. But the people over there, from what I understand, aren't about that. They didn't want her back over there in that
no
part of town anymore, from what I hear.
So they
Yeah,
don't even come back. So
Yeah.
those are kind of things, and it's unfortunate because I truly believe that the majority of the population really don't want to be involved with this shit we're talking about. They worried about their kids. They worried about climate change.
And that's what they should be worried about.
They worried about the things we worried about.
You can't worry about a populace changing if there's going to be no world to worry about. And so you have to really worry about. So yeah, your priorities are a little mixed up. So you have to really change. Let's other greenhouse gases and all that stuff. And I'm not saying there's not a perfect system. There's no perfect system. But I think when we pull out of
no platform.
Yeah, when we pull out of the Middle East, you see all this infusion of electric cars and all this other stuff. That's when you see us pull out of the Middle East, because there's going to be that much of a need. Maybe those poppy seeds that you were talking about earlier, but as far as gas and oil and stuff, that's on the decline, man. Gas is at the highest. Gas is at the highest it's been right now because OPEC sees the writing on the wall, man. All of the big major car companies are starting to get electric.
Was it like 2025 or 2035? General Motors won't make any more.
No more
fossil fuel. That time is. You know what? For me, it's just like, wow, this is going to be actually the Jetson time.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people on hoverboards. I'm seeing drones doing all kind of shit, man. To me, it's exciting. It's like, wow, man. Because I saw it in comic books, and that's reality. I'm looking at AI intelligence. I'm seeing the robotics have just rested up, and they're doing a lot of stuff now.
Yeah.
And I think change really scares people that don't want to change. But Ronald Reagan said it best. He was saying like, but Mr. President, what about those people that left behind? They were going to get left behind anyway because they don't want to change. You don't want to adapt.
Yeah.
You have to adapt to your surroundings. You think you and I, just to be where we are right now, didn't learn how to adapt?
Yeah, you have to.
There's a lot of things I didn't want to do. But I'm saying, like, you know what? If you want to get this right here, this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to listen.
Yeah. And you don't have to sell out. It's not about selling out. It's not about.
No.
It's a matter of just working within the system that's there now. You know, slave times was different. You have the 60s, 70s, 80s were different. 2001, 2010, a lot more educated youngsters are coming up and really realize that, you know what, they're learning from everything that was done in the past and really wanted to bring all of this history, the real history. They talk about critical race theory and all this other stuff now that they want to bring up because where's this? Why isn't this in the books that I'm learning? And it should be learned. It's the reality of the country. But it's whitewashing it. They want to rewrite January 6th. Your boy, the pillow guy, said January 13th. He guaranteed that Trump was going to come back in the White House. January came and left. Conned you guys again. Caught you for the old okie doke. Hello, y'all.
Yeah.
How many times are you going to get fooled, America? How many times are you going to get fooled by the GQP, man? They keep moving the goalposts, but there you are. Loyal and free. Hey, we're going to get all those dates. Trump's coming back.
They give them all these dates. This is when it's going to happen. I just had an incident. I was telling my brother, I said, like, you know what? I said, what I really have learned about people that's really into conspiracy type stuff, they so animated and they so excited, and when they tell you something, it's just like you can just see all this energy, like this is right and this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But then soon as you call them on it,
Yeah.
oh well, you know what
Or the day
happened was,
passes. Or the day
yeah,
passes.
like what happened? You know,
Yeah.
what happened to, when was it? November or something? Trump
There
was
was all
gonna
kinds
be,
of dates, man. There was all kinds of dates that they were talking about. But you know what, man? It's a crazy world we live in. We just want to try to get along, and I don't mean to demean anybody. If it came off that way, that's not what I meant. I don't mean to demean anybody about your belief. Believe what you want to believe.
yeah, I don't
But
care.
when you start looking at the facts, and the facts keep changing, because reality is reality, and it doesn't coincide with what you were told. Think about it. You really shouldn't have to be. If you keep going down that path, that's on you. You should
Yeah,
really
because if it don't work,
check your resources, change your resources, because those resources are wrong. If they're consistently wrong, then it's not them, it's you. So you
it's
should
you.
really look at that and say, you know what? Well, am I being conned? And my answer to you is yes.
I don't think people question enough. I
No,
know they don't question enough.
no, they hear what they want to hear. If it's good to what I already believe, I'm gonna believe it.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe that, and
Mhm.
you won't question it anymore.
Yeah.
And it ain't even so much the answer to me. It's always a question, and then
Yeah.
you'll see that answer is like, yeah, but where you get that answer from,
Mhm.
and what make you come up with this? But if you don't question those things, then you have no dog in this fight, because you have
Mhm.
bought into this analogy right here.
Yeah.
And even though you're gonna be waiting on, that was one thing my dad always had a problem with me, because like he was born in the 20s.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking like I can't do that right there. He said like, no, you got to do this, and you always got to be head and shoulder better than the opposition. And I'm thinking like, I don't mind being better than someone else, but I don't want to be better than someone else just to get less and
Yeah.
just to get a little bit better, just because I went beyond the call of duty.
Extra mile, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do 80 hours just to appreciate 40 hours. That's not getting ahead to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you don't question those guys and you don't confront them, then they just feel like they can do stuff. And I mean, your daughters, they'll confront you on some stuff.
Yeah.
They're gonna ask them, why not?
Oh yeah, and that's good.
This
And
one I found out.
I support that. I support
Yeah,
that.
I tell them all the time. My
Make your own mind
granddaughter
up.
would tell me, and she said like, you know what, I don't like this job anymore. And she said like, I'm gonna just get busy and find me another job. I said, okay. So she found another job. And she said, I started my other job on Wednesday. But now I started thinking like my dad. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, but aren't you gonna give him a 2 weeks warning?
Yeah.
He said like, granddad, they wouldn't give me a 2 weeks warning, they getting ready to fire me.
Yeah.
That's what you got a point. So go enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is, man.
Yeah.
And those are the things. This is a time we live in.
Mm-hmm.
It's all those people been sitting around here, don't want anything to change and want it to go only in their favor. It just ain't that kind of party no more.
No, there's too much information out there right now.
Yeah.
There's too much information for Devin Nunes and Matt Gaetz and all these people that are telling you for you to just believe it. You got to go in and start looking at the facts.
Yeah, put them on the spot.
The facts are the fact. Who said you're not entitled to your own set of facts? There's only one set of facts. There's no alternative facts. Again, a term coined by the Trump administration. There are only facts.
Alternative facts. Yeah. But if you buy into it and you believe it, that's just on you.
Yeah, that's on you, like you said. But if you keep getting conned and the facts keep changing, Trump isn't in office on January 6th. Trump isn't in office August 13th. Trump is in August. Today's August 22nd. When is he going to be back in office? If he runs again, if he wins, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, they're trying. But with this recall, let's wrap it up. But I think with this recall, Willie, for California, I think what they're doing is they're setting the table to say that it was rigged. We all know the populace of California is heavily Democratic, but they're going to say there's a lot of things, and they're going to try to do another audit like they did in Arizona. I think Pennsylvania wanted to do one, Georgia, all these other. They're just trying to set the table for that. So when they lose on September 14th, that's what's going to happen. So mark my words.
If they could flip that one, hope not. I'm just thinking. I already checked my ballot off, but I know what's going to happen. But I'm just saying, in their mind, if we can just get one state to flip.
Yeah,
but
that's what they're trying to do.
They constantly just making even some of their own constituents going like, man, what are you guys doing?
Well, look at Florida. You want our state run like Florida? Guess what? You get Gavin Newsom out of office and you put one of these yahoos in there. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a Trump state. You're going to have a Florida West.
Yeah, come on, man. Now look at Larry Elder going like, wow, bro.
Yeah, we're better than that, you guys. Come on. Get out there and vote. Make sure you vote.
Yeah, this is not the guy. Larry is not your boy.
No.
Yeah, not Larry. Man, I think this was good right here.
Yeah, it's a critical time in California. We've learned once, we can't fall for that okie doke again. We did that one with Schwarzenegger. Even Schwarzenegger said, you gotta wear a damn mask. Said, screw your rights. You can't be killing people just by coughing on them.
Yeah, you can't do that. Ain't your right. So even him, I remember telling someone when he was running, they were saying, oh man, Arnold Schwarzenegger going to run for governor. He's an actor, bro. He's not even a good actor.
It was just a name.
He
could do this. He could do this.
Yeah, he can do this, and they can put him in a nice hero type situation, but he's not to be leading nobody.
No, it was a puppet. He was a little puppet.
Yeah,
he was a puppet. That's what he was. So we get one of these. We get one of these GQP. Sorry, the GQP people in there. Trump's going to be having them on a puppet.
He will.
They're going to be a puppet for Trump, and then guess what? The state's going to go to shit. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of more people dying. We're trying to get a hold on this thing right now. So just go out and vote. I respect your decision. Whoever you guys want to vote for, please vote. You're conscious and vote whoever you want, but just vote. All we asking you is to go vote.
And make sure you go no. You're gonna vote no. It's real easy. It's only 2 little letters. You ain't got to worry about reading yes and stuff. Just go no. Yeah. And just black them out. So brother, that was good right there.
Another good talk. We'll see. We'll be going back, and sorry for the hiatus. We'll try to make it back here at least once every 2 weeks. So keep on lookout on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the page. Hit the little bell so you can get a little, whenever we upload a new video, you'll get a notification.
Give us some feedback.
Follow us at Going In With Willie and Iz. Again, my name is Iz.
My name is Willie. Keep that head up.
Out. Peace.